Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel Afro Swing FX. This is a Sunday evening video. I will be doing a top-down analysis of the USD Canadian, of the USD versus Canadian dollar, and also be doing a follow-up analysis of the GBP JPY. Early in the week, in my Instagram channel, one of these reels, I had done a poll where I asked what currency should I analyze next. So the poll was USD Canadian and GBP JPY. So I'll start this analysis, ladies and gentlemen. This is likely to be a fairly long video, so I'll ask that you do bear with me, that you're patient, and then we'll see how I analyze the markets. So allow me to just go to a new USD Canadian chart. So I'm currently using USD Canadian FXCM. I can use or under. Let me just use or under. I had previously used this for analysis some time back. So the first thing you do, I am on the monthly time frame. I am on the monthly time frame, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing I will do is to remove the drawings. Now, on this monthly time frame, this is what you will see. We have this impulsive move. Down here. And then what we have is a correction. So that is what we have presently. Now, that tells you for the long term, the US dollar is bearish versus the Canadian dollar. And one of the main reasons is that the Canadian dollar, or Canada, has a lot of oil reserves, and anytime oil prices go up, the Canadian dollar actually also goes up. And presently, if you look at the world oil prices, they're set to go higher. So it confirms this is what we have. Now, this low, ladies and gentlemen, I want to mark for you this low, this here. This is a swing structure that created this high. So this low created this high, and this high, we have a supply seated up here. Allow me to mark it, ladies and gentlemen. So this supply was seated here. So what happened is that the market tapped this region, came back, and then broke. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that, sorry for that, I had a phone call coming in. So what that means is that this is the flip zone. This region here, right here, is the flip zone. And if you want to confirm it's the flip zone, I want you to see that the market has never broken this region. So this becomes a demand zone and a flip zone at the same time. So flip zone on the monthly. This is the monthly time frame. So touched the supply, came lower, broke higher, came back to this region. So if you place your demand orders here, you are likely to catch some good profits. Now, we also have this region here. Now, it looks like they are equal tops. So we can call them trendline liquidity, a trendline liquidity. So this is where the market is. If the market breaks below, if the market happens to, let's say, come here, then do this, we expect it to come to this region. And this will happen maybe in the next decade. It may not happen anytime soon. So on the monthly time frame, we have very slow moves. So let us go down to the weekly time frame. This is the weekly time frame. And on the weekly time frame, let me refine this. Let me refine this even further and make this the demand zone. So it tapped this region. Sorry for that. It tapped this region, came back down, broke. What did the market do? Came back to this region again to pick more orders to go higher. And if you allow me, I'll show you why the market came back to this region. I want you to ignore what is on this side moving forward. Until then, this was a fresh order block. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of phone calls. Sorry for that. So until then, this was a fresh order block. And this fresh order block meant that the market had to come to mitigate. So once it's mitigated, it becomes a demand zone. It becomes a proper demand zone. And once it's mitigated, it becomes, this is a demand zone that the market is looking to break. So this low again formed this high. So we are seeing the market is sort of consolidating. I want you to see this move. Consolidating, consolidating. So the market can break higher and continue going, or the market can break lower and continue going in that direction. So we do not know what is going to happen, but we'll just keep analyzing and let's see what happens. So we have this low and this, sorry, we have this high and this high. They have formed a trend line liquidity. You will expect the market to come back to that region. My apologies, I'm still getting phone calls. So we expect the market to come back to this region and come back to this region, then go possibly higher. So let's go on the lower time frame. So what do we have on the lower time frame? In the lower time frame, this is now on the daily time frame. We have this high here. Okay? And then we have this low. And from what you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this was a break of structure on the daily. What you can see, this high formed this low formed this high. This high is not higher than this. So you can actually mark this as a lower high. This is a lower high. Let me clone it. Bring this one here, make it a lower low. So since it's broken this structure, we expect the market to come back to this region. And before the market came back to this region, ladies and gentlemen, this was a fresh order block before. Then what is happening? Oh, it's still a fresh order block. Sorry, it's still a fresh order block. And this is on the daily time frame. Let me just mark it properly. Fresh order block. So you expect this market to push slightly higher to come to this region. Once it taps this region, what do I expect? Once it taps this region, I expect it to go down. I expect it to go much, much lower. Where do I expect it to land? We have another fresh order block down here. Fresh order block down here. Fresh order block down here. So I'm expecting the market to come back to this region. So ladies and gentlemen, when we start on the monthly time frame, we don't necessarily have a clear direction where the market is going. We simply see the long-term trend. And I told the long-term trend is we are seeing an impulsive move and a corrective move. Then we are seeing some sort of consolidation, could break higher, could break lower. We still do not know. But let us go to the weekly time frame. And on the weekly time frame, we have now seen this is a trend line liquidity. This is a proper demand zone, and the market can seek to either mitigate this or break lower. Again, nobody knows. So when you go back on the daily time frame is when you realize that this high formed this low formed this high, then this high broke this low to form a lower low. So the only thing that can happen is the market will come into this region in the week, I think now week 37 of 2023. Then after coming to this region, the market can push lower. So what am I looking at? Let's go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour time frame, we still have a valid setup. So we are waiting for this to happen. And then once it comes to this region, we look for sell setup. So this is my analysis for USD Canadian. My apologies for getting phone calls in the middle of the analysis. I do request that you subscribe and like this video. One thing when you like this video is that it's pushed more by YouTube algorithm, and you'll be helping out to push my channel. So like my videos. You can also interact with me on Instagram and on TikTok. And if you want more content, you can join my Telegram group. one of my videos, I have posted the Telegram channel, sorry, AfroSwing FX. If you just search for AfroSwing FX, you'll find my Telegram channel. For USD Canadian, once the market forms, we will give you now actual setups in the Telegram group. With that, I do wish you a successful trading week 37 of 2023.